If you want to carve this cute little snowman with me, follow along. All right, boys and girls, we are going to do a little carving. No real template. Plan on making a snowman. I got the wrong block of wood. I have to go get the right block of wood. I am gonna set a timer for my GoPro because for some reason I get about 35 minutes in, it decides to stop. So we're just gonna set that right here. And I'm just gonna be right back. I'm gonna go get myself the piece of wood. Thumb guard, gloves, check. Now I've already got this marked out. I did 1.25 inches for the bottom ball, 1 inch for the middle ball, and then I just split the difference between the top ball and where the top hat will be. I'm just gonna mark all my areas here.
Oh, you did it. That was just crazy look you're going for.
And there's always commentary and judgment. Both of my fans want to see what I'm doing. Just get in there a little deeper. Now I don't have a pattern I'm following. I'm just, you know, the pattern I'm following is the same one that when it used to snow and I'd go outside and just start making it and see what it turned into. Exactly the same. Why am I not working on my elf? Well, just feel the need to hammer something out, and the elf isn't going to be something I'm going to hammer out quickly today. So I need some progress. I need something to be completed, and I feel like the snowman is definitely in the realm of getting it done. So rocky. Really like this thumb guard. I got it from Chipping Away. I feel like I should be a paid advertisement for it, but they're really the only carving place around. Not that they aren't a good carving place, they're just really my only option short of something like a Lee Valley Tools here in Ontario. But yeah, so they got the thumb and finger guards. They come in sizes, and you'll notice I only have the thumb on because either I have the world's biggest fingers or they have a different idea about what large is and they need to be working on an extra large, whoever's manufacturing these thumb guards. Oh, I almost screwed that up. Put that one on an angle. All the rest I kind of put, like you can see, like an angle like this, because these are going to be balls. But this is a top hat, so it shouldn't be on an angle. It should be straight. That's my train of thought here. Come on. There we go. Alright, we'll go back and fix this monstrosity. There we go. We got the tripod. So at least I'll be able to look up. Right now I'm wearing headgear. Camera's on my head and on a hot, sweaty day. Feels amazing, but you're worth it. You're worth it. Okay? That's what I keep telling myself. Get those saw marks off, or Johnny Layton will get mad at me. He always makes a comment about getting these off. carving circles, so it should come off regardless, but you know what? You never freaking know. So, one by one. I heard you, Johnny. I'm doing it, buddy. Very talented carver. If you haven't watched any of his videos, by all means, please make a point to go look. He does some entry-level stuff too, but I usually talk about Doug Linker when I'm talking about like you're just getting into carving, to at least learn like knife handling, kind of small stuff and easy wins. But Johnny Layton's a great carver and a great teacher, like next level carving for sure. So I've really only done one of his pieces so far, but I have others, you know, like I did his warrior gnome, a nice tutorial on that. So I'm gonna be doing a little more Johnny carvings in the future. I'm just trying to get some basic skills. I did his warrior gnome and I felt a little inadequate. I mean, it came out nice, and it was a great, you know, a version of the Johnny carving. How about that? Not a twin by any stretch, but he's got such knife handling skills that I don't have, and figured it was important that I start working on those skills. You know, I don't know if you come by that natively or not. I guess there's some people that are just natural for that, but I am not when it comes to the command and control of the knife. You probably heard me say before that symmetry is my enemy. I'll do one phenomenal eyeball, and then the next eyeball looks like I've never seen a person's eyeball before, you know, which is a little problematic. Or even worse, the eyeball is not even in the right spot. That is a personal favorite. Yeah, coming along. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, you know, arguably this should be relatively easy. So if you're just starting out, you know, it's a good opportunity. I mean, arguably, if you screwed up one of the balls, you could just make it smaller and smaller and smaller, and then make the rest adjust to it. You know, the more you have to correct one of them, the better a snowball carver, I guess, you're gonna be. The more you do. What do they say? Put 1,000 hours into something to master it. So don't be too hard on yourself if you can't do what you see people on YouTube, these training videos and stuff do, because these guys have hours and hours into it. And, you know, I have very high expectations of myself. And that can be detrimental if you don't keep your humility and keep things in check. So take your time. You know, if you've been carving a week and you're slapping out masterpieces, that's amazing. If you've been carving a year and you're making carrots, as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. We're getting there, eh? I know he's not round, but how perfect do you think? I've seen snowmen that have this shape. Right? So, well, that baby stuff, we'll just pick away. And I did exactly what I said I wasn't going to do. I carved the middle one before the bottom one. But I feel like that's okay. I've got room to play. Like I said, if all of a sudden this ball is goofy, you know, I can adjust. When I'm done, I might have a snowman this big with 3 balls, but so be it. The old 3-balled snowman. And I'm a little bit of a 12-year-old boy, Deep down inside, that 12-year-old never left me, because every time I say ball, deep down inside, I try not to giggle. Because, you know, can't help myself. Fart humor and balls. Even if they're snowballs. I said balls. Hopefully balls don't offend you. Really, I hope that you're also a 12-year-old boy deep down inside. Can enjoy the humor and the guy talking about shaving his balls. You know, you gotta shave your balls once in a while. Now, I went 1.25 inches for this bottom ball, and now that I'm carving it, you know, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, it might be too big. It might be a bit too big. That it probably could have been a little smaller, so. But we'll see. Worst case scenario, I will trim the bottom. My concern is it's going to end up becoming a little more oval than round. And realistically, based on the shape of the head, that really shouldn't be even a concern of mine, because I can't even make a circle. You know? So. Yeah, let's just do that for right now. But as you can, you know, like when you're looking at them, you can see it might be like this is probably the right cutoff for them. I know you agree. You haven't said a word, but you're thinking it. You're thinking, yeah, he's right. You can put that in the comments. It's always good to have somebody say, hey, you're right. Doesn't even matter what it's about. The confidence level in my carving with this thumb guard is huge, because this is a signature move. I like to call it paring, like paring an apple or whatever. My fear is always that it's gonna just come down and just Hassan chop me right in the thumb. And now it looks like I'm hitting this harder than I actually am, but you know, I feel a lot more confident in my carving thanks to the safety features of the thumb guard and the glove. So if you're not using one, use one. There, see? Remember that hole? It's not stick point or stick proof. This guy just put the tip of the knife ever so slightly through oh boy, through my glove. You know, and I'm doing this and I'm looking and I'm, you know, anally retentively thinking about how do I get this so round? I want them perfectly round. And then I think of like, you go to like look at Christmas ornaments, these wooden Christmas ornaments. When's the last time you saw a snowman, a carved snowman, where the balls are round? I have literally seen every shape. I'm not sure that I've seen any that are perfectly round. Not trying to cheat my way out of that, but I'm also trying to keep myself humble so that I don't, you know, lose hope. Okay, like he's got a little bit of a goofball back on the head there. We'll just give that a little shavity shave. Yeah. Yeah. Now, if you decide to carve this snowman, or this inspires you to carve your own version of a snowman, I am fully expecting a comment to tell me as much, that you're carving it, or that you carved it, and how you feel about it. I wish YouTube would allow you to upload, because I would love to see what people are doing, and I am trying to create a bit of a following, but at the same token, I would, you know, the good Lord sees it to be that way. Monetizing carving would be a lot of fun, and I just don't see that happening in YouTube or Facebook or something like that, which would give me a group. I've got numerous groups that I have created over the years from motorcycling on up, but if they're just not monetizable, and if they are, I don't think they're monetizable for Canadians, like TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, but if you're a Canadian, you cannot monetize it. I was contemplating an OnlyFans account. OnlyFans, watch me carve. Got one naked hand, I'm gonna carve without a glove today. What do you think? Or you have to pay or I send you the videos. How about that? Yeah. Not terrible. Like I said, this bottom piece, far from what I'm looking for, but try and get around it here. All right, Snowman is back in the business. Uh-oh, that was a little thick. Yeah. What I'll end up doing here is this spot in between, find those kind of good areas for the V-gouge. I don't know if others are doing that or if it's a thing, but it seems to create a nice cleanup line in there. Well, that's what I'll be doing when I get around to thinking I might be done rounding these off, you know. But yeah, I don't hate it. I don't know, kind of center. There's a tip of a carrot. All right, let's get that up there. Just the tip of the knife. Need to do a good job up there. I'm looking at is the relief underneath here. Not a perfect viewpoint, but it'll show me the rim of my hat, how far it sticks out. Yeah. All right, carrot, you ready for this? Now, you're gonna love this. Let's just say I dome the carrot. Oh no, man, I cut my carrot clean off, which is not something I advise, but if I did, I could carve a carrot and just stick it on there. That's another thing I gotta work on too, is recognizing how deep I cut. Like, here, put this mark here. Now I'm carving even deeper than I initially wanted to get rid of, see that mark I just carved away there? Just a maniac when it comes to these. That's out of control, man. Now this is very gentle, gentle, gentle. I don't want to have to carve a separate carrot. Firstly, that's a small carrot. But I can assure you, I haven't seen too many snowmen with chins. So we got that off, thankfully. Now I gotta be super careful not to, see that extra step there? Alright, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Shave his mustache. Now a blade slice. Just gentle. Gentle, gentle. That's for your benefit and mine. Mind if you slide the blade sometimes? Now this nose is looking a little less carrot and a little more human, right? We're going to start knocking the corners off it. Think back to those first sticks we were making, remember. Be able to carrot. The one time I need to make a carrot, probably won't be able to make a pointy stick. Trying to make a point of also not going too deep. Alright. I may switch knives. The blades get a little long and bad things happen. Know your limits, carve within it. Not going to be a catchy. Alright. I'm going to come back to the nose, but you get the gist. We got ourselves a nose. Looks like a carrot nose. Now let's take a shot at marking out the brim of our hat. Okay. Get in there. I want a nice brim. Part of me says, it'd be cool if it was thinner. And another part of me says, yeah, the minute you touch it with your knife, you're going to cut it clean off again. And then he'll be wearing a toque. For my American friend, a toque is a beanie. You're not close to our border. I know people usually chuckle when they hear the word toque. It's an interesting word. T-O-Q-U-E. Basically your winter hat. Not that Frosty here is wearing a winter hat. He's wearing a, well, the intent is, if I play my cards right, he's wearing a top hat. But stranger things have happened. You could be 90% done and all of a sudden it's no longer a top hat, folks. That elf no longer has ears. How will you know he's an elf? We're going to use our imagination. I chopped his ears off by accident. Right? Alright. So just like I did on the bottom, just going around and I'm looking at the relief that I'm creating on the top of the rim. So let me get this cleaned off for you so you can see. See what I did? Too deep again. Just like a maniac. Look at that. Look at how deep I went. Alright. Stay on task. The relief. See how much it's sticking out? So I want a reasonable sized top hat. Now, top hats can just be cones on the top of your head. But they can also flare out. And I kind of like that. You know, the steampunk kind of top hat. Where the top is out more. So instead of a traditional top hat that's like this, they kind of flare out like this. I kind of dig that, personally. And I feel like Frosty would too. In fact, I feel like Frosty's hat kind of did that. So that's what we're going with. But we're going to be super gentle about it. Super gentle. All these sound effects, just so you know, and you see me cutting and you hear these really cool sound effects on my videos, like doop doop doop, and you know, all those kind of things. Just so you know, they're not computer generated. I'm doing all those awesome sound effects with my own mouth. Yeah, Not that I ever thought for a minute you believe they were some kind of sound bite. You're thinking, how do I get cool sounds like that in my video? Like, no, I'm just a rambling, noise-making machine. Okay, smoky. All right, that's a good relief. See what I'm doing here? Are you seeing it? Is it coming together for you? Hopefully you are. Hopefully you're seeing what I'm laying down. All right. I'll just turn it a little bit every time and make sure I've got that angle I'm shooting for. Just shaving it down little by little. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. There we go. Again, no straight edges. No straight edges. No sharp corners. No sharp edges. All right. Our survey says that. I don't hate that. I do hate that. That little bit there. As you can just run that knife just nicely down there. All right. Don't see any real, a little bit up there. Shaving a haircut, 2 bits. All right. What do you think? You're thinking, man, he's a little heavy in the middle. You want to know why? You want to know why? Dad bods are in. I'm going to trim it a little bit more. I'll trim it a little more. Could have called him my dad bod Santa. You can basically justify any, or Santa, my dad bod Snowman. You can justify any chaos you create, really. I'll just stop talking while the train goes by. The joys of carving outside. You got one fly. Go away. Convinced he's gonna be a star in my show. I don't know if you ever saw the one carving I was doing. I don't remember which carving it was, but I've got one of those yellow assault guns. Not to be, look at, I see you, bugger. You're right there. And I'm in the middle of a carving and I end up having to shoot him. It's a sped up carving, but he's in there. So there was a death in one of my videos. So if you're into that, just know, right mid carving, I grabbed the gun and capped a fly. All right, so don't look at the bottom one yet. We're looking at the top, just kind of going shape-wise. I don't hate the shape of the head, right? Yeah, I don't hate. Come on, dude. There's an entire backyard to fly around. You don't have to be on me. All right. Let's get this back cleaned up a little bit. Yeah, it's looking pretty round. Round enough for, okay, enough. Enough. Sheesh. Look, your back. This is like, seriously, you got the entire world at your oyster and you want to hang out with me. Get out of here. Now you can see there's that flat spot right there. That's where got to go. Flat spot, flat spot. So we're just gonna got a CN rail track behind my house, maybe half a kilometer, and some of the engineers are a little overzealous with the horn. The irony is they're blowing their horn and the stop or the road crossing here has bells, arms, and lights, which just to me is mind-boggling that for some reason they still need to blow their horn. Like, by the time they blow it, people are already, you know, stopped at the intersection. Or you see that chipped. Okay, enough. Go away. Ah, they wonder why they get shot. Usually I got my 130-pound sky raisin eater out here. He doesn't like them either. So he sees a fly, he eats them. Well, he sure tries. I'll give him that much. Alright. Melt them down a little bit. Keep them a little more consistent. Some guys like everywhere. Elbow, on my thigh. Just being a royal pain in my backside. If I slice a finger off, you'll know. Or stab myself in the leg trying to swat a fly and forgetting the knife is here. What do you think? Yeah. Flat spots seem to be out of control. Let's have a good look at it right now. What do you think? It's coming along nicely. Gonna get the V-gouge. I'm gonna clean up here, under here, 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 and we'll see where we're at. So I have this gouge. It was the first one I bought. It's quite small, actually. You can see. I'll go with bigger ones for you. 1/8 of an inch wide. And then this is the one that came in that kit. These are the palm ones. UJ Ramelson. And it's a little bigger than a quarter. Okay? Don't make me get all Canadian on you if you start mouthing off that quarter and a hair. It's 4 mils. Okay? Anyhow, let's give this a little, see how this generally fits in here. You can see. See what I mean? If I put a little more pressure on the lower side, you can see where it's cutting more, right? So I'm pushing it up against the base of the hat, but I'm really cutting the bottom. And it's creating a nice finish. And I love the palm tool because it's behind you, right? The other one is so long, like I'm either dangling it off here or I'm choked up on it and I'm not really even holding anything. So this palm tool is, if you're new to carving, it's a good next best thing, I think. My opinion. I've went back and touched up a few other carvings that I did with it already, just because I really dug it. So, will it fit in here? No. Will it fit in here? No. So, smaller guy probably will. See what I mean? See the choke I've got on here to have any level of control with it? And it's not doing nearly as good a job. Can I pull it off? Can I pull it off? Let's give it a go anyway. If I have to touch the snowballs, I will. But this palm tool. This one's for sale now. I kid. At some point, see that? I just jammed that V-gouge right into my gloved hand. Like a champ. The glove did its job. No pain, no fuss, no blood. You know, and I don't know if there's, well, you know what? There has to be a technique. What I don't know is if, you know, am I nailing this technique with the V-gouge, or there's 1,000 ways to do it and mine is just one of them. So I don't want anyone watching this to forget the fact that I'm a new carver as well, and I'm just doing it as I go and seeing how things turn out. Some things are turning out better than others, you know? See what I mean? Look at that. There's a little rough in there. I don't know if you can see that. But the hat came out very nice, right? Pleased with the hat. The underside of the hat, can't get in there. I'll do a trim with it, maybe like a shave with the knife. But in the interim, this definitely needs to be touched up. I'm going to resort to what we call the infamous V-cut or stop cut, just to clean it up. Okay. We may be making this up as we go, but you know, we clean up our mess. Why didn't you just do this instead of using the V-gouge? How do you think I learned? Okay? Try it. Did it work? You know, as I said, I think that's what I'm gonna do, and it worked well on the hat, but not as well in here as I would have liked. So, you know, I'm coming back and I'm, you know, trying to be conscious of how deep I'm Hassan chopping in here. Okay? Yeah, that's a lot cleaner. That's a lot cleaner. All right. Cool. If I was just to walk in and hand this to my wife, she's the biggest supporter on the planet. You go hand this to a friend or a significant other when you're done yours, and no matter how bad you think it is, man, those balls aren't round. I said balls. You know, as they could be, they won't see any of it. They're just gonna see a real cool snowman. Anyway, make sure you leave me a message. I'll just take this flat spot off if you decided to carve one. Let me know how it turned out. Okay? I'm genuinely interested. I kind of want this channel to be a community. So, tell your friends, subscribe, follow, share your experiences, share your knowledge. See me do something that you don't understand why? Ask. See me do something and you're like, what's wrong with your head? Because you've been carving forever. There's 10 other ways to do this. Tell me. If you're like, you know, if you had this one extra tool, that crazy thing you were trying to do would be 1,000 times better. Oh. There we go. I'm gonna put the knife away. There's our snowman. Boomba. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like button.